Hi there. Yeah, no, I popped up the wrong one. So to kind of like explain a few things before I kind of get started. Uh, this is Paint to Sly, and essentially the long-term plan that I have for this year is mostly learning how to draw. I've done it somewhat in the past before, but I've never really fully committed to it. So I kind of want to do that more now. So to kind of explain a few things, I'm colorblind, mostly red and green, so I have trouble seeing those. I took like a mandatory art class in high school, but that was a struggle and a half. I gotta see in that mostly because the best thing I learned from that was how to shade with a pencil, and that was it. So my digital drawing stuff really isn't that like savvy compared to probably where it should be if I stayed with it a lot longer. I also am pretty sure I have aphasia, which is what people have described as not being able to visualize kind of like in your head. Like I also need to work on kind of being more cohesive in what I say as well. That's another plan. Essentially speaking with confidence. Aphasia is when you can't perfectly visualize what's in your head. So if you visualize an apple in your head, when you close your eyes, I can't see that. All I just see is a black void, just the lack of light coming through the eyes. At best, maybe I see blue flames, or I just see like blue kind of like swash up and down from the bottom. I don't really know how to describe it, but I don't see the apple is the main thing I'm getting at. And that is going to be a challenge. For the most part, I'd have to look at references for this. But I have for a while mostly done, like, for the most part, I've done weapon drawings. Because, lo and behold, in high school, one of my fascinations was swords. Swords, polearms, a whole slew of melee weapons, because that's what I grew up with. Hecking Dynasty Warriors. I don't want to go back to weapon drawing. I mean, maybe if the piece requires it, but I don't want to make that a focus. I want to essentially go through a learning process of getting to learn how to do art. And the reason why I'm doing it on the new year is because I'm an idiot and I don't have a good sense of tracking myself other than by doing this. So I will be posting what I do. It will last for an hour, maybe a bit over, but I will be doing it for an hour and then maybe increasing it as time goes. But for starting off, I want to do an hour per day, and I will either be streaming it or I will be posting it on Twitter or Twitter and Blue Sky. Mostly Blue Sky because I don't like AI bots, and those are gonna just fill my thing with it. But who knows? Maybe I'll use the poison AI thing. I don't think. Besides, like, I'm pretty sure I'm shadow banned there anyways. So I might as well just kind of do things on it. Other than that, I guess the thing is, where do I start? Where should I start? Should probably be to calibrate my tablet, because I do have a drawing tablet. I've had this thing for a while. You can't see the calibration process, but I'm essentially pushing in dots where it needs to be. Wait, let me see if this works. Okay. Let me put on the pencil. Okay, it's showing the cursor there, but it's showing that off. I don't know why it's showing that far off. Because it's calibrated right. This is my first time doing this, so, because I've already used my mouse. My mouse does it in the right spot. Oh, this is kind of great already. How do I think it might be... It might be compatibility issues with Psy itself. Okay. I need to fix this then. Why is it acting like this? Do I need to do I need to full screen this maybe? Let me try something. If I turn off the capture for Psy. I'm gonna close out the program and reopen it. File, new canvas. Okay, that fixed it. I just had to close it and reopen it. It was probably because I added in like the next a new monitor, so that's why everything got shifted around. But okay, everything seems to be in place then. Okay. I also realized I do not have my talkie thing on. There's my talkie thing. I'm a bit too far off this side, so we'll just move it off. There we go. Okay, so erase. That's not the erase. Okay. Also, it's a bit quiet, so let me put on a bit of music. It'll be just random music that kind of just whatever YouTube decides to play at the time. I mean, I haven't been listening to a lot of like 1999 from Warframe because I've been playing that a lot with a friend of mine. Okay, so that's the eraser. I've done like a bit of art study before the year in March, and it was mostly to understand like how eyelashes work. Not eyelashes, but how eyes and some artists do theirs. Because I was never good at doing them per se. Because some have like different styles where it kind of melds together the eyelash with the eye. Kind of like this style. But I'm trying to find like this style I feel kind of akin to. But for the most part, most of my drawing experience has been Dongo from Clanad. Clanad wasn't really a show I enjoyed. I never really got the hype behind it. But I've always loved the Dongo and how cute they were. Just that simple Dongo. And as you can kind of see that my lines are so feathered. I could do like a straight line, like I could do a straight line, but for me it makes more sense to kind of almost sculpt it with it. I feel like that's not the right way to do it though. I got into looking at some of my old sketchbooks. One of the things I remember drawing the most was Kenshin Uesugi's sword from Samurai Warriors, because I had a very unique design, which is a simple blade, but it was forked. I'm pretty sure it was more of a religious weapon. In that sense, but it was an interesting premise to a weapon. The other things I remember drawing just off the top of my head was a bunny from Hatsukoi. It was a visual novel that I enjoyed the art style of. I thought the lead female protagonist was cute. And 100% I still enjoy white hair girls. And that will never change. Because white hair girls are cute. That's me. That's my handler having black hair. Well, me having white hair despite being Kurane. What else did I draw back then? But I know the general thing to do is to begin with shapes. Somewhat crosshatch to do shading, but we don't really need to do crosshatching since we can kind of just color adjust. I'm also not that adept at doing faces, because I think it's supposed to be kind of like a circle, but then a bit under more, and then kind of that, and then you tidy up that bottom line. It's also... Yeah, no, I do need to... Oh, sorry about that. Punched my mic a bit. It's almost like an egg, from what I understand. I mean, that would be a good one if it was upside down. That's a pretty decent egg, I'd say. Like, flip that upside down. Like, flip that upside down. That is a decent sized egg. Actually, yeah, I can rotate this. Yeah, no, that's like a decent egg, but that's like a looking up perspective, and I don't think that's right. Oh right, there's another dumb one I did. Because I remember watching, or not really watching, but seeing this dog from Naruto essentially like pop up in the manga. I didn't read it, but it was just something that I saw and it kind of just stood out for me. It's just kind of like that somber look and then just the covered eye, because I think it was Kakashi or something. It's also me trying to figure out cat ears, because I should learn how to draw cat ears, or cats. And then it always just turns into Dongo in the end. So it kind of looks like Kirby. See, like, Dongo's a lot easy for me to understand. It's just a design that just stuck with me for so long. It's not similar to Kirby. Let's try. Like, let's do a Kirby. Day one is mostly just kind of, or just to get like the hand drawing. All just rough, nothing. Because I don't have a game plan fully for this yet. But I'm going to be looking more in like tutorials. Probably for the month of February, we'll look at more just basic tutorials. But at least for the first week, I want to just get the hand moving. Just attempt at things. Because I also, digital art is new for me. Okay, how do Kirby's eyes look? Just off the top of my head. I know Kirby has really big feet to the side. And I think that needs to be lower, kind of more pointed. Like that's too shallow now. I think that's... And then Kirby has those little nubbins. I think the nubbins need to be a bit bigger. I think we need to have it pushed in a bit more to kind of adjust that. And then kind of like the simple smile of a Kirby. That's a triangle mouth. It's kind of that. And then more of a U. And then we have kind of little sparkles in the eyes. That looks demonic. Okay, that is let's redo those eyes. I don't think those are right by any means. Nope. Okay, well, I remember there was also a Waddle Dee tutorial. It was on the 4Kids website way back in the days. It taught you how to draw a Kirby, it taught you also how to draw a Waddle Dee in simple, succinct, like, very simple, succinct steps. I think I'm okay. Let me see if I can remember that. It was. I remember the big thing was to start with a circle. Okay, we started with a circle, and then like I said, add 2 circles for the arms. But now we have to erase the inner portions of it. And we do this to give it a bit of depth. As in, like, Kirby has the arms forward. Maybe that one's a bit too much out. And then the big legs. And those are separated because there's two different portions of the body. And then we draw ovals for the eyes, but it's long and narrow, almost like a dongo. That's too long. Nope. 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 Better. Nope. Nope. Okay, that didn't help. That's just making a point. Nope. Okay, we'll deal with that one. And then we got the signature Kirby smile. Pollo. Also, there's still like those little blushes on the cheeks, which I will at least kind of do with those little squitch marks. Because what I would do with at least physical media was do those little squitch marks with a light lead and just blend it manually with my finger. I love doing that. There's something about that I felt so satisfied about it. I really enjoy physical shading so much. But there's that. Okay. We have an attempt at a Kirby, but they still also look so lifeless with like with the eyes like that. Also, I need water. Where's my bottle? I don't remember anything from growing up. Because this is just a canvas. Just get my head moving over and over. Okay. What else do I remember as a kid? I mean Neopets, but I don't actually remember Neopets that much. I remember there was the big guy with apparently a lot of people's furry awakening with, I think it was called the lupus or something. I need a thicker one. With essentially it's a lupus, but there was also a weird frog one too. And it was like a rounded head, kind of that out. I think this looks more like those gecko people, if I'm gonna be honest. Just the side perspective of them. Yeah, no, that looks more like the gecko people. Of course, well, there was also the three lines one that I remember a lot of people did, which was, I don't remember what's this from, but this is just everywhere. I'm pretty sure I did that backwards too. What else was there? I did a lot of the love I had was also from Rewrite, which was visual novels. That was one of the main things I got into anime from too, which was visual novels, but the main thing was Okami. Which I'm happy it's having a sort of revamp up out today. Or proper sequel rather. Because that was the thing that got me into Japanese culture. A lot of people went for, like, immediately for anime and whatnot. But for me, it was always the folklore. I've always enjoyed stuff like that. I remember doodling a lot on not homework assignments, but tests, because it's, especially in geometry where I had a lot of free time, I just doodled dongos everywhere because I doodled a lot of dongos mostly because there was just free time that I had and I wasn't supposed to sleep, so I didn't. I mostly just did alterations of dongos. Got like a little wolf ones, but let's do that. Get a separation. Has to be flush. Let's erase this area again. And tilt the ears so that way it's going outside. Just a simple little doggo. I don't know, maybe I'll do more dongos, because I do enjoy dongos. They're a simple little thing for me that I can do. What else would there be? I mean, there is that gem that Hana puts on for my collar. I do enjoy the diamonds on it. A little salient action. One of the... Okay, now I'm remembering like more about... You know, something let's kind of do this. A little cut at the top. And then you do this. And then the rounded out. And we do that. However, most people would associate that with hacking Dragon Quest. No, I associate that shape with Maple Story slimes. Because they were the most adorable things out there. But you had to kill them. There's... Okay, what else is there? I remember what else. I remember a friend talking about this. And I'm trying to remember just based off memory. But it's kind of a big worm guy. And then he's like smiling. And he had like the biggest eye ever because he had glasses. It was Larry the Bookworm from PopCap. And that was such a weird design. I'm gonna be posting this canvas on... Oh, jeez, okay, that's a lot of raids. Hi, Digi... Syndicate? Syndicate? Syndicate. Oh, that's an interesting name. Misaki Sakura VT and Miura Tokage? I hope I'm pronouncing these right, by the way. I'm a bit bad and I get English is worse for me. But thank you very much for the raid. What brings you here, I should ask? This is just a fun little doodling. I keep forgetting that is my follow notification. Oh, you're thank you very much. Oh, you guys are from the Creator Club as well. It's nice to meet another fellow member. Also, thank you very much for the follow, Miura. Again, if I'm not pronouncing it right, please correct me. What are you doing, if you don't mind me asking? I have to go on my computer to do the shout out. One moment. Also gotta make sure this is muted. Okay. Let me shout you all out. This is a raid and run. My headache is killing me. Thank you for the follow, Syndicate. Yes, please take care of yourself. I know you got done with a really long stream, and I really hope that you feel well soon. Please do take care of yourself. Oh, 6-stack Marvel Rivals. I hope you guys had some good matches. I was playing with a friend earlier, and we got utterly stumped in one of them. It was the first time I've ever seen that happen. From the losing perspective, it was horrendous. Misaki Sakura VT, thank you very much for the follow. Let me give you guys the shout out. At G. Okay. Tuber. Okay. Oh, you're part of the 6-stack. That's really nice to hear too. Again, I really hope your guys' games went well. Also, Mr. Accomplice and Digi the VTuber, thank you very much for the follow. I'm trying to get the thing to work again. I think I can only shout out within a short can't shout out within a short time frame. Let me then to Kate. Yeah, I have to do two, like I have to do it every 2 minutes. I do apologize for not being able to do it all to you at the same time. I really do appreciate you all for being here. I really do hope that your games went well, and I hope they go well in the future as well. And I also hope, I really do appreciate you guys for stopping by. But if you need to go, get some noms, take some rest, please do. I do appreciate your time here, but I do appreciate your health even more. Please do take care of yourselves. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Oh. Okay, no. Am I on my pencil? Okay, I am on my pencil. It's just really thin. Let's just do like a little heart there. A little heart for you guys. Yeah, thank you very much. I don't think we'll be going long. This is mostly to get my hands moving to get back into the flow of drawing, because I haven't drawn since high school, and that was a long time ago. It was very... my hands were rusty. Let's just say that. Trying to remember what else was from what I remember as a kid. I played a lot of Shadow the Hedgehog. I remember... Okay, I have no idea what even the star that was supposed to be. But the Shadow the Hedgehog movie did come out recently. Nope, not Shadow the Hedgehog. Sonic 3 came out recently in movies. It's not a Shadow the Hedgehog movie. But I remember... Okay, that's too thick, actually. Did I ever play that Sonic pinball game? I'm trying to remember. I think it was for the DS or the Game Boy. I remember the Game Boy one more. It had the funny little robot with kind of those circular eyes, that little crown thing at the top of its head. Okay, that's way too big. It looked kind of like this, and it had kind of a beetle mouth almost. And almost like a tennis ball, if I remember right. I mostly remember that because of... Funnily enough, I know that mostly because of Mario. Mario... Well, I forget, it was like I think it was Super Mario Z, which was a Flash animation that was really old. I don't know if that ever finished. When I saw this guy again in the Shadow Generations game, oh, I was ecstatic because I knew I didn't create him up in my head. Let me see if I can make this one. Pointed. We got the happy little mouth. And then this bottom row of teeth, bottom row, this. A little shark. Let me just put a little fin on the back for it. I think that looks close to a shark. Maybe. I'm not actually too sure. I'm actually surprised that came out decently. It's not the best. Again, this is mostly just trying to remember. And I don't remember much of things. These are things I'm kind of free-balling. I mean, there's also that arc reactor stuff, which is very simple. Core, circle, little lines around it. An outer ring. And then staggered outwards. Let's not do that. It kind of looks too much like an eyeball. Let's avoid that. trying to remember what else is there. You know what? Let's take a look around my room. I remember trying to draw the Hotel Ghost. That didn't go out so well. A little chocobo maybe? I don't think I remember how a chocobo looks. I remember rounded head, little tufts of feathers, and in the back of the head, and then the little chocobo beak. And this just kind of looks like horrendous. That does not look. It looks so sad. It looks like a depressed bird. I remember the base of what I did mostly as a kid, which was a simple Glock. The finger guard's a bit too much, but essentially that simple Glock. Yeah, no, there's just a lot I'm trying to sift through in terms of memories, and I'm a goldfish in terms of memory. I have a very short attention span. Yeah, I really don't know. That's the big thing. I don't know where to start usually, and that I'll need to research on my own time. And then come on stream, we'll actually kind of do a actual like study practice. For the most part, most of my practice attempts in the past have been trying to recreate eye styles. I remember Nano Naru from EF used to be one of my main styles in terms of how I wanted to get their eyes close to. Because they had a very simple style. I also love Sola. Sola was, you know, here, let me get a picture of Sola. Like here. Like this anime was actually one of my favorites growing up as a kid. I watched it not on, it wasn't a Cartoon Network or any of all those other shows. It was a random TV station that just aired Sola, and it was one of my favorites because this girl right here, I loved her design. She's adorable, cute, and her personality was amazing. I would honestly say her or that anime is the first anime I've technically watched. I wouldn't consider stuff like Sailor Moon to be my first, mostly because that was all dubbed. And I'm not dismissing dubbed anime in any sense, because they have their place. I love dubs as much as the next person. But if I'm talking about pure Japanese watching either subs or with no subs, it was Sola to begin with. And I don't think anybody else knows about Sola. Because it's such a weird premise. And I remember the sword from it really well too, because it was essentially a long blade. It was a long blade with a weave design. because that was essentially the channel, like, or channel liquids through it. And then there wasn't really any interesting about the handle too. It was just a simple longsword. And simple one-handed longsword. Okay, I do know they redid the Sailor Moon dub. Wait. Are you talking about like Sailor Moon, the remake they did? Or are you talking about just the dub itself? Oh right, that also reminds me of card captures. Making Caro, little beady eyes, and just simple triangle nose and smile, and then just big ears. Big ears like a monkey, but he was a lion. Card Captures was one of the dubs I've watched as a kid. The remake and the OG. Okay, maybe I'll have to look through it sometime. I know a friend of mine also was into Sailor Moon too. Maybe they'll do a rewatch with me at some point in time. Yeah, no, I remember Card Captors a lot. I'm gonna be honest, Sakura was one of my kid crushes. Kinomoto Sakura, if I remember the full name right. Though also Shaman King too, now that I remember that. Little ball, spiked out, tough hair, little wisp. And then just the anime eyes for days. Picking and I won't deny, Anna was one of my kid crushes as well. And look where it got me today, like hecking, get yourself a girl that could beat you to like Norway and back. I love Clamp, they're my favorite author. Yeah, no, Clamp has a really nice art style. I love how the coloring is. Hecking Tsubasa Chronicles was also one I really loved. I tried to get into Chobits, but I couldn't. I like the ears though. They were kind of like mini cat ears. They stemmed here and they also had like a little circle on it. And they split up, and that's where like where the USB port was. My favorite work of theirs was XXholic. I have heard of XXholic. I don't think I've fully watched or read that. I do know the rabbit though. I think the rabbit was from there, or I think the rabbit was from Tsubasa, which was kind of this little happy, sad eyes, and then just big ears outwards, and then just rabbit feet outwards. I mean, I'm probably exaggerating on the ears, but I remember the general outline of it being kind of like that, or instead of that, it was more like, or it was more fluffed out like a lop-eared rabbit. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the boss was just the Clamp verse. Hecking XXholic, or not XXholic, hecking that was basically just the cinematic universe for Clamp, the Clamp verse. The CCU, the Clamp cinematic universe. There we go. Hecking CCU. I remember I think, if I remember right, this was at least the symbol. I mean, it's not exactly the right symbol, but that was from Fate Extra. I think that was mostly from CC, because Tamoma no Mai was one of the favorite folk tales I've read. I think I read that in middle school because they had a folklore book translated over to English in my library at the time, and I checked that thing out so much that I was essentially the reader for that the entire time. And then, you know, gachapons. Little egg things that have like a little toy in them. I'm trying to remember what other animes I watched as a kid. I mean, obviously there's Pokemon. Pokemon's the other one I watched. Simple Pokeball designs. Little rim. Circle in the middle. Because I'm gonna be honest, I read a lot more media than I've watched in terms of like anime. I can't watch Toradora, but I don't think there's anything from there I could jot down. Toradora was fun. Liking Taiga. Well, you know, let's try a little tiger. Little palm tree tiger. Little angry, wide-eyed, and then rare. And then we gotta get the stripes on the face to separate it out as a tiger. There we go. Little tiger. I don't think it'll come out that well. It could look like a bear for all I know. I know. Okay. I'm gonna say this. Just clear the board. I watched Rurouni Kenshin. It was one of my favorites at the time. I do not support what the author did. Just flat out going to say that right there. And I will leave it at that. We will not be delving into that delving into Rurouni Kenshin anymore past this point. Again, I've also mentioned picking Chibito Ross. Okami was one of my favorites. Little tough nose. I can't do it. I actually don't think I can do Chibito Ross. I will say that I will say that Rewrite is still the better key anime. And well, not anime, but media that I saw growing up. Because I preferred that more over Clanad. Because I felt there was more to that. I understand it was a sad story. I just never got into it. And I will take myself to the grave for that. I did not enjoy Clanad. I prefer Rewrite more, but then again, I'm biased because I enjoy the characters more in Rewrite. Shizu was one of my favorites, but also Kotori. All of them were really enjoyable. But also the ending for that I actually enjoyed a lot more too. I remember at least Star Rail Eyes having kind of a centered principle, which is akin to this. The eyelash there, and then you'd adjust it to be more sharper or more angled, just so that way it would describe the personality of the character as well. Because a lot of detail goes into the eyes. And then it would bleed out a bit. Almost. There's a few styles I could attempt for this. For example, I know Rusuri has a sculpting style where she colors in the rough shapes and outlines and then solidifies the lines in afterwards. I know, because that's one of the things. I could do a follow along too in terms of drawing. Like, or we can do some of those art tutorials. We can see how well that goes. Yeah, speaking of Rusuri, let's just do like a little roasted bun. Because he is... I love Rusuri's art style so much. Because it's adorable. Little button nose. And little boop. And then tiny little rabbit ears. I have the roasted bun in my room. I enjoy it. Sitting on my little sofa, or not sofa, with all the rest of my plushies. I think I got through all the songs, which is surprising for this playlist. Oh, let's let it autoplay for a bit.
So it's into the void, now me girls and me boys, from mother's hands we go. We'll be sailing to the sun till the voyage is done, then we'll be sleeping in the cold below.
I need to do like another set of ears.
Below, below. We're going where the winds don't blow.
It's little tiny ears.
All bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below.
And then, not to mention, there's those little scoring marks on the top of it. Because you gotta score your bread. Remember to score your bread.
Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below. There's a man on high with the devil in his eye and a golden hand, I'm told.
I think this was a cactus shape.
He can kick you or console you when you're sleeping in the cold below.
Because it was... Cactus freaked me the heck out. I think it was circular eyes, and then just the hollow mouth too. And then, of course, you gotta have the spikes. Trying to remember what else. There's so much. At some point, I do want to kind of do a trip down memory lane because there's so much to get through. I will say, so far I have enjoyed this little doodle fest of what I've been doing. Of course, I've been shrinking myself more and more as I went down. I still will say that the ones I do remember the most, of course, is always Dongo. Dongo will never not stand out for me. Because that was all I drew as it growing up. I love this simple design. Because you have Dongo that can be angry.
Today we sail on the solar rail. For there's much we just
You could have angry Dongo.
So farewell with a kiss. Then it's fast for the mist. Till we're all sleeping.
You could have sad Dongo. You could have old content Dongo. Though he kind of looks more like depressed there, even crying. But there's a lot there. Little rim hat. Let me see if I can remember Waddle Dee. Or at least get the general shape of him off the top of my head, which was kind of this. But then he was a bit more rounded outwards. Kind of like Puff Chicks, like a chipmunk. So now we get a bigger eraser. It's 20. And still same kind of eye shape, but he has an outline almost like a bell. Kind of like that, yeah. Well, not kind of like that. That actually doesn't look anything close to a Waddle Dee. It looks horrendous, actually. Okay, well. It was an attempt. An attempt was had. I guess if, for those that are still watching, if you have, like, any suggestions that will just be crudely drawn, like, go for it. Because honestly, I'm still... what else could there be? I'm going through and trying to remember what else was there, because... You know what? The image popped in my head immediately. I have to do this one. Just because of the absurdity of it, which was... a bowl... with rice on it. And it had eyes that were angry. With fire in its eyes because it was hecking fighting foodons. I really don't know if anyone still knows what fighting foodons is. Yeah, no, I think we've hit the hour mark. We're a bit past the hour, but I'm pretty sure that if we avoid the start time of it, we are well past into the hour. Or we are in the hour already. So for right now, I will call it there. Maybe I will be back shortly, because I want to keep the art stuff separated from the other gaming stuff that I would do on this stream. Mostly because I want to have all of this in its separate folder archive. This will all be highlighted on Twitch. It will also be on my YouTube, which is also in the description, I believe it's there. Yep, it is in the About Me section. So you can go down there, you can check the YouTube channel. It'll be, if I'm gonna be more adamant about this, I will put it all in its own separate folder. Hopefully, all 365 days. If I don't have a stream on it, I will be posting a video on it. Though that is the intention, because I do work still. I can't stream every single day. That is not something that I can do safely yet without it being... without it actually coming at the cost of living. So that is the unfortunate downside. But I do thank you all for stopping by, and I will hopefully see you all later. Now, I'd say let's go find somebody to raid then. Let's go see somebody that's in the Creator Club, actually. Let's give somebody some love. You know, I have been trying. You know what? I think there's somebody playing Marvel Rivals. Actually, there's somebody playing Final Fantasy. I know this is probably a bit too cliche to send somebody to Final Fantasy stream. But I will say it's one of my defaults. Because I do like listening just people play Final Fantasy for like the first time. But yeah, thank you very much for stopping by, and maybe we'll be on later tonight, maybe not. But if I don't see you all then, hopefully I will see you all probably next week on Tuesday. Maybe, no, not Saturday. I work then. Monday, maybe. Monday, if not Tuesday, I will be streaming. So I will see you all then. And I hope you all have a good night and a good New Year.